Okay. So we are live, and I'm going to toggle spotlighting here. Someone has got a hold of Tracy's ponytail, but we are here today with the largest group of Tune In Tuesday that we have done. Actually, we've had a couple people on sometimes, but this is the first time we've had kind of five actually different guests, and probably more at Tracy's house that will pop in and out. I saw Greg earlier. And so bear with us because it might be a little chaotic. If you are joining us on Facebook Live, you can ask questions in the comment section, just underneath the Facebook Live. And then if you are joining us on Zoom, just click that Q&A button and you can throw questions in the Q&A, and I will kind of like ask those questions of our guests. If your question is for somebody specific, feel free to let us know who, but if not, then I will direct it to who I think maybe makes the most sense, or just throw it out to everybody. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to introduce all the lovely people that we have on the call before we get to introducing the puppies. So first up, I'm going to introduce our newest corporate partners, Carlissa and Kennedy, who are co-owners of Hugo and Toast. And so how we normally roll this is we ask people to tell us a little bit about how they came to be part of the Pats family. And oh my goodness, I just love that we've got the whole family today. We've got puppies pulling on ponytails and kitties and Hugo and Toast. It's great. So Carlissa, Kennedy, do you want to kind of introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about how this partnership and this kind of connection to the Pats community came to be?
So I thought of this idea actually when I was on mat leave. I'm a hairstylist by trade, and I kind of struggled with postpartum depression, and Toast was a puppy at the time, and he was really there for me, and I don't know what I would have done without him. So I became increasingly interested in service animals and started researching them. And I had really loved what a lot of our cat I really loved what a lot of companies were doing with like the charitable aspect. And I've always been a huge fan of bamboo clothing and their high quality. So actually during the first COVID lockdown, when I finally had some time on my hands, I started ordering in samples and reaching out to suppliers and getting some really beautiful fabrics, designing logos, and worked on it for about a year before everything was perfect, and really loved where everything was heading. I was a little bit nervous because I don't have any marketing degrees or business background, but I felt very passionate about the cause. So I brought Kennedy on board because she's a professional in the clothing industry. She's been working in it for 6 years. And that's how our partnership kind of started. And yeah, so we ordered a lot of clothes, and then it was just kind of finding a really great foundation to work with, because we wanted a really like tight partnership, and actually through like community.
Another party you heard from. It's okay. I got you. Oops.
Through community in Regina, we had kind of caught wind of Merlot. She's a police dog that works with children, and she's had quite an impact out here. And I'm a hairstylist, so I'm chatting with one of my clients about the direction I'm wanting to take, and she goes, well, actually, I know that dog personally. It's my mom's best friend's dog. I'm like, well, you've got to be kidding me. That just must be fate. So we got hooked up with Tia and Merlot and introduced to Pads, and yeah, that's kind of where we are today.
Well, that just warms my heart. As you know, Merlot started her life in my house, and it's been amazing to watch her little career journey. And it's just interesting. We talk a lot about the impact of one dog, and there were comments in our Facebook group last night about the impact that the dogs have even on their puppy raisers. And, you know, certainly your experience with your own dogs, their impact doesn't start when they start working, but it's also certainly interesting to see how different their impact can be as they move through that journey. So Merlot is working in the community, but then also having impact on pads in this way in terms of kind of making connections between people. So thank you so much for sharing that. We're really excited. Kennedy, do you want to share a little bit about you and kind of how you came to the partnership?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Carlissa, we've been friends for quite a long time, and she kind of told me her idea. And so I do come from a retail background, so I really wanted to help her in that way. And I have experience just dealing with retailers and stuff. But yeah, I've also used to babysit Toast just when he was like 6 months old, I think. So I've known them for a long time, and just the idea of the brand was something that I really wanted to be a part of, and it's just super important. And I feel like even in Saskatchewan, it could be recognized a bit more. So it's just super exciting to be part of something like that.
That's very cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna flip this, do spotlight, because not that everybody doesn't want to see your face full screen, but I know they want to see puppies full screen. So first, and this is a bit of an interesting story. So for those of you that maybe haven't kind of followed along the whole journey of the Hugo and Toast litter, is you might be wondering why we have 2 homes and 2 cameras on. And so Quince, our lovely lady, who previously shared the record for the largest litter at Pads, broke her own record with this litter of 13 puppies. And for those that don't know, that is a lot more puppies than there are spots at the milk bar. And at the same time, the very, very same day they were born, I was delivering Autumn's puppies at my house. They're now with Kaye, who we're going to introduce in a moment. And unfortunately, Autumn lost a couple of her puppies. And so she had a very small litter, and she was actually quite frantic about the puppies that didn't survive. And that is a hard but a sad part of birth, and is sometimes there just is nothing we can do. And in one case, actually, one of the puppies was stillborn, so there was not really anything we could do. So, but when we realized that Quince had this enormous litter and it would be tremendously hard, especially for the smaller puppies in the litter, Tracy and her family really kindly kind of agreed. Tracy has several amazing children, and so they're all involved in everything else. So it was very emotional to like have these puppies born and then send some of them off. But what I love about this family is they're always about the dogs first and their well-being. And so what we managed to do was give the 3 smallest puppies in Quince's litter the best possible shot by giving those puppies to Autumn. And as soon as Autumn got them, she calmed right down and started nursing them and was just like, oh, there's my puppies, life is good. And so it's just a win-win all the way around. And then Quince still has a substantial litter to care for, as does Tracy and her family. And so it just means that everybody gets what they need. And so we love when these kinds of things can happen. And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Tracy. Tracy, do you want to just introduce yourself and how you came to be part of the PADS community? And I'm going to reach out of the frame and grab the really loud toy away from my dog. Oh, Tracy, you're muted. Sorry.
There we go. Puppies are being noisy. I am Tracy. I am a volunteer puppy raiser first, and then I became an employee of PADS once I fell in love with it. But I fell in love with a little golden retriever that I was raising at one point. So, and the idea of breeder caretaking was always in the back of my mind. So I approached Jackie, our breeder caretaker manager, and gave her a long convoluted email about if there was ever a golden retriever, I would love to maybe be a breeder caretaker to it. And so Quince came to us, and the rest is history. She's had a number of litters, and they've all been large litters, so we've been lucky that way. But yeah, it's just been a joy. It's been a family affair, so it's really a big bonding experience also for our family. Everybody has a little role to play, and we just kind of bond as a family, just raising these little puppies.
All righty, we're going to introduce the puppies in a minute, but I'm going to finish introducing the people first. So let me just switch over to Kaye here. Kaye has Autumn. Pad's Autumn is one of our brand new breeders. So this was her first litter. And so she has 3 puppies of her own. And then you've also had from day one 3 of Quince's puppies. So Kaye, do you want to just share how you came to be part of the Pad's family?
So we started several years ago with raising, and we have Ajax, who was released back into our care for raising, and then we had a bit of a gap on that, and then kind of rejoined up last year and stuff. And I don't know, I just sort of decided that maybe breeder caretaker might be better suited. I retired, my husband was due to retire, and just thought that would be kind of interesting to do. And then in the interval while we were waiting for dog to come, we did pup sitting, and got back into that. So we've been kind of around the organization for a few years, but active for probably about 4 out of the 7. So yeah. And so yes, the puppy whelping and all that was all very exciting. The day of that weekend. Yeah.
It was a full event, wasn't it?
It was a full event. So, but everybody, and then it's really, I guess this sort of having the 2 different litters has actually been an interesting experience, because they have their individual personalities, but they sort of have litter personality too. So, which we wouldn't have noticed. Yeah.
I also wanted to highlight something that I learned about you when I was bringing the puppies was, tell us what you did in your professional career before you retired.
Oh God, I was a nurse and did lots of different kinds of nursing things. Both of my husband and I are nurses, right? So, some stuff we know about biology and babies and puppies and birthing. So some of it's okay, but it's a different species. So
it is a different species, but I do think there are some transferable skills there for sure. So, and also just like the level of like calm that you brought to everything was wonderful. So for our longtime followers, that every litter at Pad's has a theme. Now, for Quince's puppies, they will be the Hugo and Toast litter. That will be their theme. We're going to share a little bit more about that. But we've done something very different with these litters that were all born in quick succession, kind of the same week. During COVID, people kept making donations to Pad's as naming sponsorships, which is an opportunity we've offered for a long time. People can name a puppy. But unfortunately, typically what we do with those naming sponsorships, because we name every litter on a theme, is we assign them to import puppies. So puppies that come to us on exchange from other programs or schools. And obviously during COVID, there was not a lot, or at some point any of that happening. And so we got this huge backlog of amazing humans that had sponsored puppies and wanting to name them. And we were just feeling really quite horrible about the fact that it was taking us so long to kind of fulfill those sponsorships. So these very special litters of puppies, not the Hugo and Toast litter, but Autumn's puppies will be named by waiting sponsors who are naming puppies in honor of family members that they love or have lost, or they're naming them in honor of a special occasion or their company or whatever it is. So these puppies don't have names, which is always interesting. Although I have to ask both Tracy and Kaye, have either of you given them like temporary names, or are they going by their because I know some of them.
Red is Little Red because she's the tiniest. So she's and then Ian's, he's named one Cecil or something like that. And I say, stop that. Cecil Greenback or whatever. And I was like, but we don't actually call them that. We just go with generic puppy, and they all seem to like that,
Yeah.
just fine. Yeah. So
Yeah, and they all have different colored collars, so we can tell them apart. So while we have the camera on you, Kay, do you want to introduce the puppies that are with you? So you have a puppy with
sure. So I've got right now one of Quince's. So, well, we've varied between green and lime. We've been calling her green, but I think the paperwork says lime. And she's actually the smallest of Quince's litter.
Yeah.
So she's like a pretty good girl here. And do you want me to move the camera around it? Would you? Because they're all asleep. And
oh, you know what? Why don't we flip over to Tracy where she's got
yeah,
kind of a
and then
puddle
I
in her lap,
can
and
show
when they
you.
wake up, we can introduce
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, the cuteness is overwhelming. I don't think I've ever had this much cuteness on a Tune In Tuesday. All right, hang on. Here we go. Tracy. All right. Tracy, who do you have? And same question for you. Do your guys have nicknames, or are you going by colors?
They do have nicknames. We are going by colors / names. We were watching Top Gun the day after they were born, and so we said we're just going to give a little bit of a Top Gun type theme to all of the puppies, just for our own sake of who we're talking about. But mostly they answer to puppy. That's basically what their call is right now. But yeah, so we got this is Viper. She is our green, so she is the dark green color. Outside of, we had to make sure that we use different colors than the puppies that also left us. So she is dark green, and I would say she's the spunky little. She goes after that name of being a sort of a little bit of a
spicy thing.
Spicy girl. And then this one is one of our smaller ones. She's the brown collar girl, and she is, I would say, she's getting a little bit spunkier, but she is one that just wants to crawl in your lap every time you're out and see you and just be with you and be very sweet. So she's just kind of, she's
little snuggle bug.
probably she's fighting our pink girl for the size. The two of them were a little bit smaller. And this one biting my butt here for the last 10 minutes is our red collar boy. And again, the boys are really just kind of mellow, softer sort of personalities than the girls we're finding. They're even a little bit less explorative and a little bit slower to come to new things in the kennel or new environments. They just take a little bit of extra time.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, that's not actually like a difference between the sexes of dogs like that. But sometimes when you look at a litter, the divides happen in weird ways. Sometimes it's like, oh, the black puppies in this litter are like a little bit spicier. But sometimes it also could just as likely kind of hit where, these 4 puppies are more chill and cuddly and these ones are more energy. So
and my theory is that the big boys who were always big, they got on the nipple fairly easily, got their food fairly easily, so they didn't have to fight for a lot. And I think the spunkiness of the girls, they had to fight a little bit more for their food, which made them a little bit spunkier. But that's my
a little more persistent. Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. Who's next?
Just Mr. Yellow.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, he's gray. We just ran out of colors, but he is gray. We have a yellow on the other one. This one is another boy, and he has the black collar. Pink girl.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she's quite dark.
Yeah, and she's she's so sleepy. She's got very golden color fur, where some of the puppies have very kind of white colors. There's one in the kennel. This one is our orange. He's a heavy one. He's got a lot of girth to him. He's got a wet paw. He was sleeping in the water dish. And then this is our purple little girl. She was sleeping in the kennel.
Oh my goodness. She looks like baby Quince is what she looks like.
And they are a little bit fluffier than the lab puppies. We just had some eye exams all together, and well, they're not fluffy like full Goldens. They are quite a little bit fluffier than the full labs.
Yeah. And Marina Hall Phillips, who leads the ADI Breeding Cooperative, once referred to the lab golden crosses as labs with fuzzy edges.
Yeah.
And I love that, because fuzzy edges, both in terms of their coat, but also in terms of like, they just have slightly softer personalities too. So, yeah.
And then this is just our last boy. He's our teal colored blue. We got two blues also. They're big. They're big boys. And I think everybody.
Okay. What do you think? You want to go back down? Okay, there you go. Okay. Is anybody talking?
They're all tired.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. Oh.
Not biting me anymore.
Is Tara still there?
Loser.
Yeah, I think we lost her. It's just all of a sudden we're.
Sorry, everyone.
Oh,
I
there she is. There
for a
she is.
second, and then I was talking away and you couldn't
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me.
no,
So
we're like,
I
yeah, we
was
didn't hear.
just saying that I apologize because there's a lot of loudness happening in my office today, where normally at this time of day everybody is sleeping. So I'm not really sure if it's the change in weather or the fireworks or what, but there's a lot of chaos. So I apologize for any background noise you're hearing. So with that, Carlissa and Kennedy, will come back to you just for a second and tell us a little bit about, so you guys get the amazing privilege of naming Quince's puppies, the ones that are staying at pads. We're just waiting for confirmation how many of the puppies are staying kind of at pads, and that is another reason that they don't, their names haven't been assigned yet. So but tell us a little bit about what you have been doing out in Saskatchewan, which is the other reason we're so excited about this partnership, is that it is also kind of taking pads into a community where obviously we have some working dogs, but we don't have a volunteer presence in Saskatchewan. And so it's really exciting for us to partner with an organization in a new community, because I think it just helps more people know about our dogs and what we do. So what has that been like? Because I know that you've been kind of out and about and doing some different things. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think we just partnered with you guys in August, and since then we've done a really cool candle collaboration with a very popular candle line out here called Hugo, and that's the Puppuccino, and those have been doing really well. And we've done a stars golf tournament, so we had a big booth out there where we were educating everybody at the golf tournament about pads, and Merlot came out there, and she was representing you guys, and everybody always loves seeing her everywhere. And then we have some other cool marketing ideas for Christmas time and for the new year. I believe I'm with you guys for at least 2 years. So there's lots of fun things going on. There's also kind of in accordance to like our naming of the puppies, we reached out to a breakfast joint in Regina called Smitty's. I think they have a chain all over Canada, possibly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So Michelle, the owner of Smitty's, is actually running a 50-50 there for 8 weeks. And after the end of 8 weeks, we're actually taking down name ideas, because we're going with breakfast theme names. And we're going to do like a really cool social post and work with Smitty's on like some of the ideas they've come up with. And hopefully get lots of He's
very excited.
He wants to sit on Kennedy.
Hugo's the party boy of the family. We were talking about this when you first came on. Toast is just like, life is good. I'm gonna chill and chew my bone. And Hugo's like, I'm in.
He's
I
like,
would like.
it is walk time and you're paying too much attention to this computer.
And puppies. Why are puppies cuter than me? All right. Okay, we're gonna flip back just for a second to Tracy. And Tracy, do you want to tell us about developmentally where the puppies are at right now and how they are kind of doing and what kinds of things you're doing with them right now?
Yeah, so right now we're doing a lot of kennel training. We're introducing new surfaces and toys into the kennel. They did have a little bit of an upset stomach last week, so we actually didn't do a lot with them last week. We just kept the stress level low and just getting healthier bellies out of them. So they're maybe a little bit behind on a week on what I'm doing with them, but we're going to start with our clicker training and treating and stuff like that. And each of them all at some point of the day come out and have some one-on-one time with us so they don't get too attached to just being with their puppies and, sort of secure with the whole litter, that they get a little bit of one-on-one time so they're not worried in new spaces when they're by themselves. And then we started having them go outside last week and playing in the rain, and they don't seem to like that too much this week so far. So, but yeah, so, just things like that, introducing noises and different surfaces and different sights and sounds. So they are all feeling a positive emotional response when they're exposed to those types of things and not feeling too worried about strange people or noises and all that kind of stuff.
That is awesome. And Kaye, what about your guys? How are they doing and what is their role like? And maybe tell us a little bit about the difference between the two litters that you were mentioning.
Oh, well, we're we're not as organized as Tracy because this is our first litter, so we always feel like we're about a week behind, but we have started with some crate training and eating in the crates. When the weather was nicer, we took them out a couple of times just in a pen, and that was all very exciting, until they came back, and with the rain, it's a little bit awkward in the setup here. What else have we been working on? Being polite and keeping paw on the floor, and they're learning to do that quite well, actually, and they kind of learn from each other. Yeah, the Quince litter, it's sort of funny. They'll kind of go a little tribal where they kind of hang out with each other and kind of off in different corners, and then you'll see some wrestling between them. But I'd say, generally speaking, the Quince litter is a little more chill, and the Autumn litter is a little more spicy.
Yeah.
And the one that looks like Autumn exactly, this is our teal, and he's got the same marking. So he's got Autumn's in the back, but she's got a little white chest and a little white chin, and he's trouble. He's a bit of trouble. He's a bit of trouble.
Doesn't he look like trouble, that sweet little
Yeah,
face?
he does. Yeah. So of everybody, but like I said, yeah, they give as good as they get too. So
Yeah.
on that one. So, but
Well,
it is,
Hugo says
it is interesting.
little mini Hugo over there, right?
Yeah. So.
All right. And do you want to introduce the rest of your puppies?
Okay.
Kaye, so people
Okay.
can-
So this is one of Autumn's, and then you've met Lime, and so Teal is the biggest of Autumn's litters. So
Yeah.
he's the big one compared to, and you saw her there. Now I've got the littlest one and the biggest one together. So I'll bring the little one first.
Okay. Now, interesting. So this
Yeah.
little one that Kaye is bringing over is the smallest Pads puppy that I think I know for sure that we've ever.
She was only 160 grams at birth.
Yeah. So
she's a whopping 2,500, a little bit more this week.
Gosh, she's
so that's how big she is.
And look at her little
developmentally, she was a titch behind with the eye opening, about 4 days or so, and that. But then after that, she has this nice little white paw.
Yeah, little
just
soft
one. Yeah. So so you just sort of kind of see her, and then our big one, which is I think a small one of Quince's litters. Our big I worked at a premature nursery years ago, and I preferred them too because they were lighter. So
Tiny
here's,
puppy.
and so he's, I think, small compared to his siblings across town there. So he's over 5 kilos. So, we've had to kind of do some adjustments feeding wise. So everybody gets, and at one point there, with the last bit of nursing, we were having to give the autumn litter a bit of a jump. Because these guys were really pushing them out of the way. And then now with the bowl feeding, it's easier to regulate, but I still have like 3 sizes of meals, so that's the biggest. So this is yellow on him. So that's our biggest one.
But they all look like,
they look
normal size puppies, and they were all very, very tiny. Even the others were quite tiny compared to our
So
normal.
Blue is the middle size of the Quince, another boy. And Blue, the temperament, of the Quince litter, I'd say the female is the chillest.
Yeah.
And that's relatively speaking, but these guys are pretty good. So this is Blue. And then we got one more fast asleep. It might take me a minute
So while
to
we're
get
bringing
her.
up this last one, I'm going to tell folks that are watching online, if you have any questions about the puppies or about Hugo and Toast or anything else, you can pop those into the Q&A box on Zoom or into the comment section on Facebook.
And this is Purple, who's the middle of Autumn's litters. So red is the smallest, purple's the middle, and then teal, the black puppy. And we've only got one black puppy. And she's quite blonde, and she has a very somber face.
Yeah,
and she's got a somber attitude too. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and the pups are they 6 weeks now?
Yeah, there's 6 going into 7 weeks. So coming
Only
this
a couple more
Friday.
weeks.
Sorry.
Only a couple more weeks, and then they go to their puppy raisers.
Yeah, November 10th is turnout day.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm just looking. So that was one of the questions that we just answered. Thank you so much. I'm trying to find who asked that question. Just because I didn't mention that. Lise, sorry about that. And so I'm going to say a couple of things. One is, if anyone has ever wanted to puppy raise for pads or is interested in puppy raising, we are taking applications for new puppy raisers right now, and we're working a bunch of folks kind of through our process. And then certainly as well, we have folks that are coming back that, their dogs have been turned into advanced training and now they're going to be taking on a new puppy. But certainly this is kind of our season right now where we're going to have lots of puppies going out the door 2 weeks in a row, because we had 2 litters one week and 2 litters the next. And so 2 weeks in a row, we've got puppies that are going to be going out to their racers across all 3 of our regions. So if you're interested in becoming a puppy raiser for pads, you can check out pads.ca/volunteer. And then also the other thing I just want to talk about, I'm going to switch back to Carlissa here, is that as part of the partnership, Hugo and Toast has agreed to basically fund pads with a percentage of their sales over the 2-year period of the partnership that we've kind of both committed to, which is extraordinary. And it makes such a huge difference. But then there's also kind of some benefits to our community as well, in terms of kind of getting pads perks for Hugo and Toast. So oh my goodness gracious, my house is chaos. I'm really sorry. There's like toys being dropped. So I'm sorry, I'm a little rattled here. I'm like, why are we
like everybody's houses right now?
Right? It's like a party happening everywhere.
The puppies the whole time.
Yeah. I'm like, I just got a yak chew dropped on my foot. So I've taken it away. But anyway, so on our website, there's a blog post that shares about the partnership. And on that page, you can sign up to kind of get a discount code. So do you want to tell folks about that, Carlissa or Kennedy?
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's the core, it's the pads.
Yeah. That's kind of worry.
Yeah,
sharing
so we'll
both-
just get people to sign up and it'll send it to them. But if you want to tell them
I'm
what
like,
the
are we
offer.
supposed to share it online?
So yeah, we just generate a code for everyone that signs up, gets a code sent to them to use at our store for 40 or for a buy one, get one free on our online store. And we'll still have those proceeds donated to pads, but it just gives an opportunity for you guys to rep the gear and just represent Hugo and Toast out in your guys' region as well.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Hugo and Toast clothing, because I have been fortunate to see and touch and feel some of it. And I would say it rivals Squishy Pads puppy ears in terms of like softness. But tell us a little bit about your line of clothing and kind of what you have out there for people. Also, I have to say my candles arrived last night and I was so excited. My son was kind of rolling his eyes at me because I was like a little kid at Christmas. But
They smell so nice, hey? So for the clothing, we went with all bamboo because I just love how soft it is. And it's a nice sustainable fabric as well, as there's no chemical used in the growing of bamboo or manufacturing. So I really like that aspect of it, especially, I don't know, I feel like the world is being more conscious of being nicer to our planet and more conscious of what we're wearing, putting in our makeup and on our bodies and on our hair. So I really love that aspect. And yeah, bamboo is also moisture wicking. So if you're at the gym or out on a hot day, it kind of breathes with you, which is amazing. I know everyone's very familiar with bamboo sheets. They're one of the highest end sheets you can get for your bed. So I feel just all around, it's like the best fabric that you can possibly have. And then for our sweatsuits, we went with cotton, just for like a nice cozy warm feel. And they're like super thick. It's not like a thin cotton. So they're really nice for walking around in the winter time and everything. They actually do keep you nice and warm.
that's awesome. And I also love your bandanas for the dogs because you wash them and they don't get all like wrinkly and crinkly and they tend to stay clean for a long time too. So I know the boys are wearing them so they can kind of rep today with the Hugo and Toast bandanas. So
unfortunately, Hugo is wearing white. He should not be the one that's wearing white. So I do have to put it in the wash.
Amazing. Okay, I'm looking to see if we got any questions here. And thank you, Meredith, who's like dropping links into the comments. So if you're curious about Hugo and Toast and you want to go snag your discount code, you can go to pads.ca and Hugo and Toast or pads.ca/volunteer. And I know both links are there if you want to just click on them on Facebook. But oh my goodness, there's just so much going on today. These boys are utterly adorable and I love them. So lovely brand ambassadors for your brand and just so much joy. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, well, thank you so much, everyone. I'm realizing that we've gone kind of overtime here, but I'm going to flip back one more time to the puppies so that we can see all of this sweetness. They're all so like chill. I just love it. Invariably it's when we're live and then the breeder caretakers tell us afterwards that they're like, you know, doing the mosh pit and trying to jump on each other and on Fighty face and all the things, but they're absolutely adorable. So it doesn't, I'm like, do we have any questions? I'm just scrolling here just to make sure we haven't missed anything. So I want to thank all of you for coming on and putting up with the chaos and like switching back and forth between everyone. And I want to especially, our breeder caretakers. I want to just do a shout out to them. I've been a breeder caretaker. I know how much work it is. It's 24/7 for 8 weeks. You're looking after these babies, and especially with a large litter or a litter that's not feeling well, it's kind of double duty. And so Tracy, I hope you and the family are getting a little more sleep this week. But thank both families for caring for these amazing little puppies and their mamas. And if you're interested in being a breeder caretaker, that is another role that we're recruiting for right now. We've got a couple of girls that have passed their breeding clearances that are looking for kind of their forever kind of homes. And so with our breeding program, the family that hosts them, they go to live with them. And then that typically becomes their family, and they stay with that family long term. But then of course they also get the joy of welcoming their puppies into the mix. So if you're interested, again, it's the same link, pads.ca/volunteer. And then last but ever not least, thank you again to Hugo and Toast, Carlissa and Kennedy. I certainly love your brand and your products, but I especially love your commitment to your community and wanting to see more kind of life-changing dogs out there in the world, and not just talking about that, but putting that into action in such a tangible way. So thank you so much for kind of becoming part of our family and our community, and also taking the time today to chat with us. So we really, really appreciate it. And but I'm going to let everybody sign off and get back to cuddling these puppies. And I just love Hugo and Toast in the background that are like, we're going to play tug, because people are
That's
watching.
another scrunchie. I love my scrunchies and my socks. It's
Oh my goodness,
expensive.
little turkeys. Gotta love it. Okay, well, thank you everyone so much. This has been amazing. I've gotten my puppy fix for the week. I can almost smell them. They're so sweet. So give all of them puppies and Hugo and Toast alike some ear scritchies for me. And we will see everyone very soon. And yeah, go and check out the links that are in the comments. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.